Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Baltimore Ravens. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, set, 15, run, 15 runs.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, you got three,
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got it to Williams. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. A good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
Let's go, 18 Gators.
58, come on.
You must be dreaming.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd and goal from the 1. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
58, boys, 58, Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Running on first down, Eckler. And an alley to run. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. Austin Eckler, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Let's go, boys, bring it up.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. That was well coached and even better executed, because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Down. 10 Lobo. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
You got nothing.
Hey, exit.
58, Mike, 58.
Five.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. Spinning away. Now a hit and a loose football. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Here we go.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd down, Eckler. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Murray. He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. On 1st down, it's Green, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
60 Pittsburgh. Pollard, 64. Quick. Let's make these babies cry.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 10. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
First down, Arizona.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch one. Tighten up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 29, Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
On 2nd down, Barber. And shedding through the tackle. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a toss play to Eckler. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. 58's the money. 58's the money. Go. Go. That's it. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. That is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk. and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 23. They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I'm trying to collect.
Yo, go! Hey, high 7. Hit it.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got Green. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
At the 11-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So on fourth down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Here we go again. Mike one. Let him know.
Throwing now is Murray. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun on third down, Murray. Forced out to his left, and that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Go!
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Murray. Steps away to his left. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Murray. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Murray. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check 31, check 31.
Second and 5. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Let's set a tone.
Second and 14. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
First and 10 at the 46.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Give me that ball, defense. Yay! Wahoo! Give me that ball, defense. Go.
2nd and 10. Well, this will be caught by Brown. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Ready, ready. Hands over.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football. Trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
He was brought down by Michael Davis. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 43. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give, Eckler running to the right. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Murray now to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals! Austin Eckler with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals push further out in front. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need to rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Got his man. It's Williams. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And able to find Green. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll set up to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
And 12 at the Ravens' 47-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Watch the whip.
It's Eckler again, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
I got you. Do, okay? Check 49. Mike Ward. You remember me? Let's go. So Mike number one. Here we go.
Here's Murray from midfield. And able to find Kirk complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
I'm going to hit you
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Royce Freeman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Come on, set. 10 logo.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
2nd and 9 now. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hey, Orbit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, seam 6. Shoot.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he finds Howard complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that should just about put this one in the win column for the Cardinals. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Let's go now. Keep the Pittsburgh. Where's the mic? Watch one. Watch one. Cut.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continue feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cardinals, it was a great all-around performance as they come